What's up, everyone? This is Ben, Falcons Media Corner, back again with a brand new AK After Soul review episode for today. This one's going to be on a film that was released last year, back in 2021. This one was already released back in March in the US, but we ended up getting this in June. And I really wanted to talk to you guys about this movie since this was released back in June in the UK. And today I'm going to review. Today's review is going to be my review on the 2021 action film, and that is Nobody. This film stars Bob Odenkirk as a family man named Hutch, who he has a wife played by Connie Nielsen. He has 2 children, and what ends up happening is that his family ends up getting robbed, and Hutch deals with the crime in a non-violent way, and what ends up happening is that his family ends up a bit disappointed in him until his former life comes back to him, which was a dangerous, violent life, he has a particular set of skills with using his fists as well as using weapons like guns and stuff. And so he does that when he saves a girl on the bus, he saves a girl on the bus by a bunch of goons, and what ends up happening is that he ends up getting marked as a target from this evil drug lord who runs a karaoke bar, and he's basically after Bob Odenkirk's character Hutch because he killed his brother, who was one of the goons of the bus. And basically we see Hutch has to do whatever he can to use his skills against this evil drug lord, as well as protect those he cares for, his family, as well as his father, played by Christopher Lloyd. So that's pretty much the story of Nobody. Now, this movie comes to us from the director of Hardcore Henry, which was a 2015 action movie, which I did watch after I saw this movie. And the film, when it was first released, it did get a mixed reception from both critics and audiences. But I did think it was a pretty decent, solid action film with lots of crazy tons of action in that. And when I first saw I didn't see the trailer at first. I saw the few posters for this film, and I thought this was going to be sort of a straight up comedy from the way it looked. But when I saw the trailers, it was a serious mainstream action film, but with a bit of humor to it. And having Bob Odenkirk as the main star was a big surprise, because we've never seen him do anything like this before. And as well as having Christopher Lloyd in this movie, I was really surprised, because I haven't seen him in a movie since in a long time, and I've always been a fan of him ever since Back to the Future. And this movie, like I said, was released back in March in the US, but I was wondering when this was going to come out in the UK, because this one did look like a pretty insane watch from the way it looked. And also, from what I've heard, it's from one of the producers of the John Wick series, which I'm totally a fan of that series with Keanu Reeves. I've seen all 3 of them. I did even saw the 3rd one in cinemas back in 2019, and I still love it. It's my favorite of the series. And like I said, and I went to see this on opening day back in June in the UK, and my screening wasn't really that packed. There wasn't that much people who were seeing the movie alongside with me, but after walking out of it, I would say I enjoyed this one a lot more than Hardcore Henry, because I enjoyed the hell out of Nobody. This was an awesome movie from beginning to end here. Easily the biggest praise for Nobody is, of course, Bob Odenkirk in this movie. He's terrific in the movie, and he's absolutely phenomenal for his performance here in this movie. And for his action stunts in this movie, he was totally a badass for those scenes in this movie, and he absolutely blew me away for every action moment he does in this movie. And I would love to see him do more stuff like this in the future. And his character development for Hutch, I really dug into in this movie, because he's not really a perfect man for doing his own action in this film, because he does get quite a few more damages to himself, and he does get his ass kicked a lot in this film. But I really dug into all of that, and Bob Odenkirk, from what he was given from all that, he did a great job of all of that. And as for everyone else in the film, like RZA and Connie Nielsen, they were great in the film. And Christopher Lloyd, he was totally a big surprise in this movie, and I really loved him in this movie. And when we get to see him towards the final act of the film for what he does, it was a big surprise. I won't say what he does in this film, but he absolutely blew me away from all of that. It's just, everyone's great in the film. And the concept for this film is pretty much just like John Wick, but with a different action character, really. Because for this character, he's not like what John Wick is like as being a hitman, because for Nobody, for Bob Odenkirk's character, he's just really a normal man. He's a normal man, but he has a violent past and all that. And, it comes back to him, it gets kind of called back into him, and we see him, using his fists and doing guns and stuff like that. And the action sequences in this movie are really fun to watch. They're really exciting and entertaining for the most part. Seeing, you know, Bob Odenkirk kicking everyone's ass and using guns in this film, and they're extremely violent and pretty bloody as well. And the direction from all that, they're directing really nice wide shots, and I thought the director for this movie did a great job from all of that. However, the only one negative aspect I have with this movie is just the villain in this movie. For the character development for that, I found that pretty much weak, really, because he's a karaoke drug lord who he sings karaoke, and if anyone doesn't like his karaoke, he just pretty much kills them, and he just goes back to that. I just kind of found that pretty much weak, really. But his performance wasn't bad. His performance wasn't bad. It was good, but for what he was given, I just found that pretty much weak. But in the end, guys, Nobody, I had an awesome time with this movie. It's definitely one of the best action films of last year. And if you're a fan of the John Wick series, or if you're a fan of Bob Odenkirk, you will definitely have an absolute blast with this one. And if you miss a chance to see this in cinemas, it is available to stream on any app of your choice, or just simply buy your own physical media of your choice. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about Nobody. I'm going to give Nobody 4.5 out of 5. Awesome rating for yet an awesome action film. Despite having one little negative aspect with this film, I still had a lot of fun with this. And for me, I personally would love to see a sequel for this. But we'll have to see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching for my AK Afro Store review on Nobody. And let me know what you think of this film if you have seen this already. Did you have an absolute blast with this, or were you very disappointed with this film? So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews. And as always, this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.